yeah, so last week we worked on all the playable character skills stuff. This week we're moving on to the boss. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. I said I wanted to do it because we've got some really cool, important stuff to chat about regarding that boss. Or bosses, should we say, because there's 5 of them. This one, we haven't put it in the done list yet because we're still finishing it, of course. Got to do the summon Dawning Wolf, got to add the sounds, and tidy up the skill tree. The skill trees work mechanically perfectly. Just visually, it looks a mess right now. So I'm going to be working on that stream. This is what I mean about lots to do. And the fruit boss stuff is pretty challenging stuff as well, because the second phase that we'll be starting soon will be an interesting one to implement. And there's also the fruits cutscene for me to finish too. So it's all these 3 tasks really, and all the mini tasks within them that need doing. And the battle mechanics has always been the most challenging thing for me, so definitely focus on that right now. And when I want to break from it, I'll be working on finishing that fruits cutscene and getting that in the Discord as well. But the Carol one will be going in there first, the Carol flashback. Doing well, good to see you are doing good. I'm doing decently, as good as you can be. I mean, probably got 2 hours sleep last night, but you know, like I said last stream, I'm a bit of a superhuman. People have always said, how are you functioning when you didn't get any sleep? You know, well, I'm Superwoman. But at the same time, even Superwoman has limits. That's why I'm trying to be sensible right now and not put too much on my shoulders. Gotta take it easy. And oh, it's my B-day on Wednesday, so that's another reason to take it easy too. I didn't put a live announcement in the Discord, did I? Let's do that now. Oh no, not in important news. How could I forget? Okay, so no description today because I'm late with it. There we go. Okay, just do what you can, yeah. Well, it will just make us excited. We'll get that hype and anticipation built up for when we finally do talk about it. And since you are just over the road, you can just borrow one of my sets of spare headphones. I'm just over the road, am I, Asriel? Okay, so right, so okay, I have thought about breaking these into smaller bits, but I know I sometimes prefer to see less, so we'll leave it like in this format for now. I think it's working quite well. Okay, here we go. Here they are, here are the fruits. So let me just remind myself about what we're going to do because it's been a while since we've revisited this boss. So I've got to refresh myself. The skills, the action sequence, animation, sound and balancing. So obviously we're not going to do sounds because broken earphones. But we can do the animations for the fruits or at least plan them. And I think the skills were already implemented for the first phase. But I'm going to have to double check. We're going to test the battle anyway today because we need to see how easy or how hard this boss is with now we've added the four skills to each of their skill trees. But yeah, we're going to have a look at what the skills were. Everything's here. Look at all this. Wow. And yeah, just have a refresher stream of the fruits and do what we can to make the boss battle as awesome as it possibly can be. Hi Neville, how's it going? It's good to see you. Doing all right, Neville? How are you? I feel like I'm thirsty, no matter what today. Like I have to constantly drink. Got a very dry throat. Yorkshire Midlands, we're practically neighbours. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I used to feel like, even like when I was a kid, that like London was miles of like another country, but really isn't. I'm just a hermit, that's why. Everywhere that's outside my bedroom is another world to me. Okay, so we need to open RPG Maker first of all, because we haven't got it open yet. So these were all the skills that we, back in the day when we worked on this fruit boss, we came up with some really pun style skill names for each of the 5 fruits, because they all have their individual skills in this boss battle, and I thought I liked that. And the lemon is the sort of defense guy, the tank. The tomato's the one strong in strength. That's why those 2 at the front. Blueberry and plum are magical. Blueberry's the healer, plum's the magic offensive person, so that's why they're on the back row. And apple is the leader, is in the middle, and he's more of an agility look and crit guy. So we've even got a description of what each of their skills do here as well. I've completely forgot what each of their skills are, so it's definitely a refresher stream for me. But I think it'll be, if we can balance the battle today, the first phase, think of some good animations, or even find some good animations for each of the skills, then I think that will be productive. We've got phase 2 to think about too, but we'll get phase 1 out of the way first. That's probably the best thing to do, to not begin phase 2 until we're happy with how phase 1 works. Okay, so I have put a sprite of apple here, just so we can get to the boss faster. And I've put a can't escape switch on, because that's the way I have to do it with the way our battle system works. I can't remember why I have to do it that way now, but I do for some reason. Oh, I remember why. It's a common event, and what it is, I've set it up so, where is it? Can't escape. Oh, here it is. I've set it up so if you try to escape from a boss, the boss says something, a piece of dialogue. And I was thinking it'd be cool if that dialogue had a different text line each time, maybe, just for variety. But it just gives it a little bit more than if it just says can't escape. Because I don't think it was possible with the HUD I've done to grey it out, the escape thing. I think there was a reason why it couldn't be greyed out, because I have like visual icons on the battle HUD. So I just thought that would be a good little hack to get around that, but we don't need to think too much about that. We can think about dialogue for that later. That's like a little extra bit to do. But let's think about the actual boss mechanics first. Right, so enemies, here we go. So we've got them all here. Apple, lemon, tomato, plum, blueberry. And this is the second phase, this part here. And we're not going to talk about the second phase today. To just sum it up without going into too much detail, painting comes down and the fruits hide behind it. And there was a plan in place for what we was going to do there. So if you want to quickly read that, feel free to. But I'm not going to try and get too caught up in phase 2 today. So phase 1, it's all about that. Right, so these, we balanced them quite well, I feel. The HP and the perimeters we gave them worked well for our hero and Rose when they don't have skills, when they just have a simple attack command and nothing else. But I'm assuming that they'll be weak now that we've got our skills, but we'll see. We can easily edit these if necessary. So this is where everything's set up. I think that this bit was broke actually. I remember testing it a few days ago and that mechanic for some reason had broken. It worked before, so I'll have to fix that at some point. But that's literally a cover mechanic like Lemon does. He protects Blueberry, but we'll test it out. I need to refresh myself on what these skills are, and you guys probably don't know what they are either, so we'll do it together. Okay, so I'm actually gonna bring him closer because we don't want to have to walk all the way over there when we're fighting it. So let's start a test play then. It might be a right mess because the last time we tested this boss was a while ago, so if something goes badly wrong, don't be surprised. Okay, did we turn the sound off? I think we did, yeah, everything's off. We put everything to 0 anyway. Hi Cloud, how you doing? It's good to see you again. Hope you're having a good day. Okay, so we've got a few saved games here. Which one should we do first? Okay, so I think 9 and 10 are the save files we need to use for this. I do. Nice emote, by the way. The game music's not on, is it, guys? Yeah, I keep getting paranoid. Don't want it to clash with the background music. Right, so did we learn our skills? Can't wait to get this skill tree looking good, I have to say. In a bit of a dilemma with the skill tree at the moment though, because I've still not had a response from the plugin creator. He did say though, he posted the other week and said he was working on an update, so I'm confident that he'll be back, but he's probably busy. He's a busy one probably. I've equipped the Rose still has teeth as a weapon, and that's not what we're gonna have. I think we're gonna have blood as a weapon. I mean, she does bite with her teeth, but there's a reason for that, which we'll talk about more in future streams when we have item streams, because that'll be fun. At some point we'll have an item stream, but it won't be until we've done the first playable build probably, because items can be things that are easily added afterwards. Okay, here we go. I'm ready for it. Okay, so the boss sprites in battle are different to the normal enemy sprites because they are something special called Dragon Bones sprites, which is a bit of a weird name, but what they mean in RPG Maker terms is animations that just look better. They're more fancy. They react to being hit, and they they have like non-static animations. That's the best way to describe them. They're animated enemies basically. And currently the normal enemies are just basic. And I like the idea of making the bosses this style because they stand out as being a bit more epic than the normal enemies. And the assets that we have for the normal enemies actually don't exist, a Dragon Bones version of them anyway. So, right, so, oh my goodness, why am I so thirsty? Okay, so I'm excited to test this out. I'm expecting a few little bugs though with this. We have the turn counter in the corner, as you can see, the blank at the moment. We don't have the icons of which fruit it is, so it'll be a good idea to fill those in so we can properly test the battle at some point, even if we just colour it in with a little blob that represents each of their colours for now. We need to put their avatars in, but I'm actually working on their avatars. At the moment, getting them in. Okay, so let's begin. Do we have some potions on us? We do. Of course, we're not going to call them potions when in our game, but they're just called potions for now. Okay, so we've got adrenaline. Obviously, we'll have to test this one with Hunter Tay. I might make the corrosion animation a little bit more subtle when it's on the docked version, but we'll see. Because what's interesting about this is that I'm not a fan of, in a lot of RPGs with things like poison and bleed and dots, they're immune on bosses in a lot of RPGs, aren't there? Things like that, and they only work on silly enemies, weak ones. Normal enemies, but I like the idea of not making things immune on bosses, because I think it takes the fun out of the fight and the fun out of dots. In all honesty, makes the skill a bit pointless, and it's frustrating when you use it on an enemy and they're immune to it. Just a small pet peeve of mine. But of course, we've got to make sure it's balanced. And at the moment, corrosion as a dot is quite weak. Anyway, like it only hits with 1 or 2 HP each round, I believe. Its next upgraded probably stronger, of course, because we can have our skills upgrade in this game, because we use flat damages now, and I'm very happy that I made the decision to switch to flat damages. It's a lot easier for me to do. In all honesty, I've had a much easier time than when I had to deal with the percentage based skills. This is looking really good. Oh, thank you, Watery Tart. Welcome to the stream. We're doing some boss testing today. These guys here, these fruits, they were originally based on a slime sprite, but we just transformed them into fruits because they're amazing. They're amazing as fruits. We got to create all these characters with personalities, and yeah, so we're fighting 5 at the same time. What a challenging first boss, right? But welcome. Cute but deadly, exactly. That's what they are. So the job of today's stream is honestly balancing this first fight and just refreshing ourselves on the skills, and maybe thinking of some animations for them, because right now their skills aren't animated. You'll see in a sec when they start attacking. So, right, with Rush you can attack twice in a row. How OP is that? So, what else should we do now? Probably transaction maybe, because Jesus needs healing. Jesus is my custom hero, by the way. You can call him whatever you want. I just called him Jesus because I thought it would be funny. But how are you, Watery? I hope you are having a decent Monday. Oh my god, they're strong. We're nearly dead already. Okay, probably need to use Warcry right now because Rose is very close to dead and Warcry is a provoke. So, did I use that on Tomato? I thought I used that on Lemon. Must have used it on Tomato. I'll have to test that. Time to use Train. Now, this is interesting because you can choose what order you want to kill these guys in, you know. And there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, some people might think, yeah, we'll kill the healer first. Because, you know, healers are dangerous. So, if you want to kill the healer, we do have a mechanic in place. It's currently a bit bugged, but what the goal is, if you hit the healer while Lemon is still alive, Lemon will counter-attack you because Lemon loves Blueberry. Lemon is like a daddy to Blueberry. His job is to protect him. So that kind of makes you think, well, we got to kill the Lemon, the tank first before we can hit the healer. So this dialogue box here actually is meant to go above Lemon. I don't know why it's down there. We'll have to fix that. But it's meant to go above his head, and then he attacks you for doing that. So yes, there's a bit of strategy in place with this boss. He does give off Jesus vibes, yeah. Purposely made him do like that, for sure. Because we made the custom hero. He happened to have a beard and long brown hair, and I was like, yeah, that's Jesus. We'll call him Jesus. I've been here a few times when Top Rise raided, but I think this is the first time I've seen gameplay, so I got excited when I saw the old school JRPG, but it's awesome. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we're definitely getting more closer to a first playable build release. The aim is the summer, later in the summer. We're just like making sure everything is working and we've finalised all we need to for the first playable build, so we're not really going to do any new stuff until the current stuff is done. But yeah, it's good to have you back. It's good to have you hanging out with us again. And also that's a pretty cute emote, by the way, that little white round thing. That's adorable. Okay, so I'm scared to carry on with this fight because these fruits are very OP. Okay, let me figure out what's happening here because I've just realised something. There's an extra fruit in battle, an invisible one. I don't know what's happened there, but I've only just noticed that there's 6 turn counters instead of 5. And I'm going across and there's an extra one right there. So that needs to be deleted. That might be why we're dying so fast. Because there's an extra enemy, an invisible one on the screen. Also, I want to make sure Provoke's working properly. So that should provoke Lemon now. That's strange. We're going to have to figure out what's happening here. Because that is very weird that there's an invisible. I knew there'd be a bug. I just had a feeling because it's been a few months since we revisited this boss because we've been focusing on other things instead. We've been working on cutscenes and fleshing out other parts of the game, but now it's time to revisit the boss. Watching this stream also wants me to dev my game. That's good. I like the idea that I can inspire you guys. The hidden fruit. Yeah, why is there a hidden fruit? How bizarre is that? That never used to be there. Let's figure out what's happening. So we've got our troop screen here. We have all 5 enemies on the screen. There doesn't seem to be an extra one here. We might have to clear everything and put them there again. So I'm going to clear everything and add them again, because that is weird. That is a strange one, that is. Sometimes that happens. We get weird bugs. And we did recently change our battle system from default turn-based to CTB turn-based. It's a lot better in my opinion. A lot more fun and faster paced, and it actually makes agility matter, unlike the default turn-based where agility is pointless. I don't know why that's there. So maybe that is the reason for why something weird happened, but we'll say all we can do is work out the problem. And there has been a few little bugs recently, I have to say, when doing game dev, and when that happens it delays the rest of the development, so you gotta kind of prepare for that. Treebaldy and Master Emerald, how you guys doing? Invisible Flute Blueberry, so I had to pun Booberry. Oh, that's a cute name. That's super cute. I feel like Blueberry should call himself Booberry. Because Blueberry's a baby, you see. He's the baby fruit, and it's very, he can't even speak properly like the all other fruits. How you doing though, Master Emerald and Treebaldy? Good to see you both. I hope we can fix this bug today so that we can start looking into the skills and animations. But if we can't fix it, which sometimes I don't like to do the troubleshooting things on stream, because sometimes you need a lot of time to do that. If it turns out we can't fix the bug, we'll just pretend that it's not there for now, and do the other stuff, do what we've planned, which is to think of some good animations for the skills and scour the internet for them. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Just use the Microsoft technique. Yeah. My goodness. We can't have an invisible fruit die. Oh, it's gone. The invisible fruit's gone. Yay. We've only got 5 counters instead of 6 now. I wasn't expecting for it to go that well and the big bug to be fixed that fast. In all honesty, I always expect the worst and for things to take hours to be fixed. But luckily that time it went our way and it's not there anymore. Let's just make sure he's not there. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. I'm happy now. Where did it go? Oh no, Spoopy. It's hiding. It's hiding in Treebaldy's room. Been doing good, getting back to productivity today. Oh, what are you doing, Master Emerald? Artwork or your game dev? Or your writing? I'm curious. I think that's a good attitude in game dev, to be fair, yeah. Luckily, I'm a very patient person. I'm not one of these people that are like, I'm giving up now because that bug's taking forever. I have a lot of patience, and that is one of the traits why I think I'm able to manage with this and not get burnt out. But at the same time, you've still got to be kind to yourself, and as a game dev, you know, it's a very, I'm not gonna lie, I've spent nights being up at really late, like 5 AM trying to do things sometimes, and part of me's like, I've got to relax a bit, I've got to take it easy on myself now, just for a few weeks. That's what I'm kind of gonna do. I'm gonna not make my list to do too long right now. I'm gonna just take my time for a little bit. Do a bit this morning, but trying to write stuff. Oh, yay! Well, I'm glad to hear it, Master Emerald. I'm glad to hear it. And Rose and Jesus together, cute, hi big. Yeah, they make a good team, don't they? But just so you know, guys, because in case anyone here doesn't know, Jesus actually isn't a character in the game. He's just my custom hero. So you can make your own version of Jesus. He doesn't even have to be called Jesus. He could be called Butt or Mr. Poopy Face. I don't think we have enough characters for Mr. Poopy Face, though. I think I don't make the character name too long. I think I've limited it to 10 characters or 12. I don't know. I feel like I should make it a bit longer than that, but I wouldn't want the name to be so long that it goes off the edge, because then that would be bad. Yeah. It's a marathon, not a racing. Exactly, Watery. And I said the exact same thing on a Discord announcement the other week. You read my mind. I basically said that exact sentence. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Well, I said sprint instead of marathon, I think. We think alike, Watery. Okay, so now that the mystery invisible fruit's gone, we can do this battle properly again. So, adrenaline. So adrenaline is, as you can see, Jesus is glowing now. That means that he has got increased attack and defense for 3 rounds. Once that glow goes off him, that means adrenaline's gone. It also shows that he's got the status on him as well in his little box thing there. So having that will hopefully mean that we don't die. I always feel it's a good first skill to put on. Rush is a good first skill to use as well, I feel. But it's essential that there was some kind of cooldown put on it, because a skill like Rush could be easily abused. The current icons that we've got next to cooldown and the 10 HP thing are going to be changed, by the way. They're just the default ones. But they'll be changed to our style of icon eventually. Okay. I suppose there'll be some kind of meta with each of the characters, and I could imagine there being an ideal rotation for what skills to use. And that'll be exciting once more playable characters enter the game, because there'll be a party picker feature. So you have to be smart with which ones you have for certain battles. That's kind of, that'll be cool. I want to see how much HP it takes off them. Yeah, 2. Using flat values is easier than percentages, especially when it comes to bosses as well, because it doesn't make the skills too OP on them. If that corrosion was percentage based, I know I've heard that it can be hard to balance percentage based skills, so this should be better for me, is anyway. I hate percentages. War cry. Let's provoke. I don't want to use war cry because Jesus is weak right now. Let's use a potion. Shows that Rose is a fighter on the righteous way. People will be coming to this stream thinking I'm like super religious or something. It's literally just because I created a random hero and he happened to look like Jesus. It was just too appropriate not to name him that. I think the corrosion lasts for 3 turns. I should put that in the description. Right, what should we use? Strain. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and kill Lemon first. Hang on, we need to make a. I think I need to pay closer attention to the fruit skills because I'm neglecting them. Everything's happening so fast though in this battle. The skill is over in no time. So okay. Jesus was quite strong in attack then, but that's because he's got adrenaline on him, and he's also learnt frenzy as well, which is giving him an attack buff. It's you know, the warrior is strong, so that's the benefit of the warrior. But if you take another branch in his skill tree, you can be focused more on defense than attack if you wish. Rose is probably quite weak in attack power, to be honest, but she's got the agility and speed and sort of self-healing skills that are valuable as well. Maybe you should change the name to Obi-Wan. Yes, Jesus was fierce warrior before the great 3-day hangover. Do you have a water battleground where everybody has to swim, but Jesus just stands there? Yeah. You guys are funny. Very, very clever, true Baldy. But I'm to be honest, I felt tempted to have a different custom hero at some point. Maybe I'll call the next custom hero True Baldy. But what would I make him look like? Right, I'm gonna use Warcry now because Rose is very weak. Why is the provoke icon all the way down there? I have to check what's happening there, because it should be above his head. That's where it should be, so that's a bug. Drain. No, we'll use rush now. We can get draining twice then. I have to actually put my thinking cap on for this. I think the poison is too strong. And it's hard to, because everything's happening so fast, it's hard to like take in what's balanced and what isn't at the moment. That's why we'll have to do a bazillion test plays. I don't think we have any poison healing items right now. What actually gave us poison, come to think of it? We're gonna have to review the skills, guys, but right now this boss is too OP for sure. So some of their attacks are too strong. I think that's what's happening. So I'm gonna have to pay close attention to what skills these are that are too OP. So one sec. We'll go back and do another test battle soon. I'm going to just figure out why that provoke icon is not working on the fruits. I think it's because it needs to be. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the sub. Wow. 33 months, guys. I think that deserves a lot of hype, doesn't it? Let's see that hype in chat. I want to see the hype. How you doing, Dav? Let this be a show of my love. Oh, well, it's lovely you've made it. Thanks for stopping by. And hi, National. How you doing? Boss fight. Hi, Pooh. I know. Jesus Christ. Oh, is that Shadow's theme? Hi, Scratch. How you doing? It probably is, because we have a Vinyl Fantasy playlist on the background right now. The game sound is muted because, well, I don't, my own earphones aren't working currently. So I've got to find I've got a pair lying around somewhere. I have to find them. And also because I don't tend to put the game sound on unless we're actually working on sound. Because it can be very distracting hearing sound effects while you're working on mechanics and visual stuff. But guys that have just come in, the reason why the Carol flashback isn't in the Discord yet is because my earphones broke while I was in the middle of doing it. So I'm going to get it up tonight though. 100% get it up tonight because I know that I've got a pair lying around somewhere and it's like that close to being done now. So it'll get put up today. So don't worry. And okay, I'm on a usual break time that I don't usually get, so I'm eating and will be lurking, but have fun. I'm doing great, by the way. Great to hear it, but thank you so much for that support. 33 months is a long time. You're one of my longest sub staff. Appreciate it. And tough boss fight, yes, it's a very tough boss fight, this one is. So the goal is this week, we will be working on this fruit boss this week. There's still a lot of tidying up to do with the player skills, mainly adding sound effects. It was going to be a sound effect stream today, but because of my not being able to, the earphones and headphones, well, I keep saying earphones, but it's actually headphones, because they're broke. It obviously wouldn't have worked to have a sound effect stream today. But I'll probably add some in off stream, to be honest, and show you guys what they are when the time comes. So we can totally just continue working on the fruit boss and focus on that for now. Oh man, I wish I knew about that Humber Bundle link. I think I bought like 3 in the past few weeks. Oh, well, it's nice that you would have used it. That's nice to know anyway. It's one of those things. At least you know about it now, though, guys. That's true. I'll mention it just because Scratch has brought it up. I do have a Humble link. So it's a really good way to support my stream and fund me while I'm working on this project. Because anything that you buy on there, software, games, a portion of it can go to me. So it's super helpful. So feel free to have a browse if there's anything that takes your fancy on there, or just for future as well. Okay, guys, and thank you for the hype as well, by the way, guys, for Dav sub. I appreciate it. Okay, so I am trying to figure out why the provoke was in the wrong position, because it worked fine on the mushroom enemy. I tested it the other day, and the mushroom enemy is the exact same size as the fruit, so I don't think it's anything to do with that. Or is it the same size? Let's check. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's just a little troubleshooting issue that I'll fix another time, because the positioning of it here is wrong anyway. I never pay attention to how it looks in this window here, because it always looks different in battle for some reason. It's always like a bit off in alignment. Okay. So I'm trying to think. What should we do first? Because there's definitely a lot we have to work on with this boss fight. There's a lot. And it's just thinking what to do first, really. So I think a first task could be making sure they're not killing us so easy. Let's have a look at what their stats are so far. I think the HP seemed reasonable. The amount of hits that we were... They weren't too strong. Wow, okay. They are quite strong with magic attacks of 22 and stuff. I'm going to do another test plan. I'm going to keep a more active eye out on how many hit points they're taking off Jesus and Rose. Because I was paying too much attention to their health that time. But I'm going to actually look at the damage they're doing to us this time. But I really am excited to move on to phase 2 this boss fight, but we can't do that until we've finished phase 1. I'm testing with Warrior at the moment, but we'll test with Hunter after. Okay, here we go. So we have like a pretty long cutscene, not a decent sized cutscene before this boss fight. We get to learn about the fruits and get a bit of lore on them, and it's going to be good. But of course we don't go through all that cutscene before the boss, because while we're testing it, because we'll be here forever. So I literally just added as a sprite that would take us to the battle straight away for testing purposes. But I do want to get that cutscene in the Discord. If it's not this week, it'll be early next week when that gets put up into the Discord. Okay, so who's going to attack first? We don't know because we've got invisible turn counters right now. So, we'll just have to see. At least our party get the first guy. Yeah, it's pretty pointless to use drain or transaction right now, so I'll just attack. Corrosion's nice. It does little damage, but all that damage can build up. Well, it's only 3 rounds, but it's still something. Pretty much similar to Arrow Rain, in all honesty, that Hunter has, that's an AoE attack, but the only difference is Arrow Rain does the damage all in one go, and it's probably slightly weaker as well by a couple of hit points. So yeah, for now guys, you see that angry symbol, ignore the positioning of it because that's a bug. It needs to be directly over the head of the enemy that's provoked, and right now it's not in the right position. I think it'll be an easy enough fix, but it could potentially take time out of the stream, so I'm leaving it for now. Apocalypse, purple rain. Okay, so I managed to see what a purple rain did, and it hit like with about 20 damage, did it? Which seems OP, but it might not be. You know, we can't make this boss too weak, but we can't make it too OP either. Right. I don't know what Apocalypse is doing at all. Need to check. Everything feels like it's super fast paced right now, and that's because we don't have animations in between their skills. once we add animations, it'll be a lot more clear what's going on. So a part of me wants to get the animations done first before we do the balancing, because I think that'll help a bunch. Because it's like everything's like fast speed while there's no animations. They just run through all their skills like nothing, one after the other, and you can't even tell what's going on. So I think we should do some animations. That was kind of a goal anyway, one of the early goals. So yeah, let's put the balance into the side for now. Oops, yeah, he's told us off for escaping. That has to also go above Tomato's head. So yeah, there's definitely a few little buggy bugs there that we need to fix. Okay, so skills. Here we go. Let's get it up big for you guys. So here we are from Apple. So first Apple skill. It's an interesting name. I love the names that we've given their skills because they're punny and amusing. I like that a lot. He's a bad apple is a funny one. You know, a bad apple's a pun itself, so it works. But what the funny thing is, apple is actually the most good out of all the fruits. He unfortunately just got dragged into the fight because of loyalty, blinded loyalty to the other fruits. The other fruits are actually a bad influence on apple. Without putting a question mark there for that skill name. But poor Apple. Apple's my favourite one. He's not a bad apple. Not to me. So that's a high crit attack. I didn't notice how much damage it did. But we'll think about damage later. We'll just literally think visually what the skill could look like for now. Okay, so we've got to remember that the fruits are painters. They all hold a paintbrush each of their own colour. So it only makes sense for the skills to be like splatters of paint, you know, because that's what the weapon they have. So for the ones that are attacks, clearly they have to be like a paintbrush skill. That's the buff. Attacks once every 5 turns. Oh, that was an interesting skill, Limelight. Yeah, we did it so it only affected one ally. I remember changing it, so definitely we need an icon for that, because right now we're just using some random icon for that skill. We could also have a visual and indicate like sort of glow or something on the one that's buffed maybe. Lemonade is a really cool passive skill that Lemon has, a counter attack passive skill that he uses if Blueberry's attacked, because he's a protective father figure to Blueberry. But it's broke at the moment. No, it was working. It was just the dialogue box that needed adjusting. Poison bleed dot attack. Oh, that's where the poison came from. Bolognese breath. Now, it wouldn't be poison, it'd be like a tomato kind of style poison, I guess Bolognese breath would be. So I would just have to visually alter that to resemble Bolognese. Ew, how gross. Bolognese breath. That would be a horrible. That would be horrible. Limelight would look cool if it drew a circle of paint round the target. Oh, that's a very creative suggestion, Master Emerald. You know what I'm going to do? If any of you in chat suggest animation visuals, I'm going to write them down. I think that'll be really helpful. Right now, I'm just putting them in Notepad, but I probably will add them to our Draw.io little massive sheet so we can all see at some point. So I like that. I think if we can have them all be paint themed, that would be great, you know, to sticking with the whole painting theme makes sense for consistency reasons, you know, to have every single visual animation in this fight be paint themed. So I'm all for that. Because at first I was like, yeah, we could just make the fruit glow, the one that's being buffed. But I think, like you say, a circle of paint is just way more creative and consistently fits with what we've got. So we do have a lot of skills here. I mean, we've got 5 fruits and a lot of them have 3 each. In fact, yeah, they all have 3 each apart from apple. So there's 14 skills here that we've got to remember. So I feel like we should get them listed and write a description of the animation for each of them. But we can do that in Draw.io. But first of all, let me just copy them all into Notepad and their descriptions, because I think I've currently got them in Draw.io, but I don't know if it's organised properly or 100% updated, so I'm gonna be on the safe side and copy from here. Right now, this has still got a percentage. This is done by percentage with these. I suppose it doesn't matter if the enemies are percentage based, but we'll see, because I might change that to flat damage too if it works better. Oh my goodness, Alice, thank you so much for that sub. Hope you enjoy your bat emotes and those double raindrops. Thank you so much. Let's have some hype. How are you doing? I've missed you. How are your streams and how is life? I hope things are okay on your end. Let's have some hype in chat for that sub. Yay! Thank you for the support. Okay. So, bear with me, folks, while I get these skills written up. Because it's going to be easier for me to put them in Notepad first, so I don't have to switch screens when we're in Draw.io. If we can get a description or like some kind of idea of what the animations could look like, and then we can go on the look at our animations that we've got and see which ones would work best. Because we got a couple of really cool websites for animations now. Maybe some of those that work great for paints. We'll have a look through them. So we're on Plum now. I mean, we do have quite a lot of skills. I mean, there is 14 there. Part of me does wonder whether it's too much and makes things too OP, especially the dots. But we'll see. I'm totally up for lowering the skills if we have to, so that If they just had two each, that wouldn't be a problem, but if it works as it is, that's fine too. It's whatever works best. I think it's fine as it is, but we just need to make sure they're not like ridiculously OP, because right now they are. They're OP. They're very OP. Yeah, I got paint from that. Oh my god, what a coincidence. We were here talking about paint, and then you get the paint pride emote. That's amazing. It was meant to be. Ooh, I've just realised something. Blueberry's skill is called Bloop. His first one. And just a few weeks ago when we was working on the fruit cutscenes, we were saying what cute words could Blueberry say, because he's like the baby of the group, so he doesn't speak like an adult. He like talks in baby language. Bloop is the perfect word for him. Especially if that's what one of his skill names is. Completely forgot that. Thank you very much. Honestly, guys, these names are too good. Too good. Work is pretty busy today, so I'll mostly be lurking. Oh, thank you for the lurk, though. You know I love my lurkers. And I hope work is being nice to you. It's treating. I hope your costume design is going well too. Okie doke, I've copied everything in. So next job, we're going to get Draw.io back up. So we do have them already in here, but I'm part of me thinks we did update them since then, just a touch. So we're going to start fresh over here. So that we can just copy and paste. Ooh. Now, let's make it better so you guys can actually see. This track is lit, it ended. Which one was it? Because usually I listen, but I can't because I usually just get up the earphones to listen to what's on, but they're broke. Okay, so here we go. Let's get everything set up so that it's easier on the eye. Okay, so these are all their attacks, guys. So we're gonna think of some animations for each of them. Now, should we use a different colour for the animation description? Yeah, we should. Okay, so Master Emerald's suggestion was Limelight. She said oh no, Draw.io can be a big silly very bad. I think it's wanting to behave again. We'll be patient for it. Just capture your music player windows and crop it. I could just look at the YouTube playlist, I guess. But I can't be bothered. Draw.io's lagging. Sometimes it does this, especially when you've already got a lot on the document. But, oh well. I don't have the paint one yet. These Pride emotes are great though. Yeah, let's share what the ones we've got, folks. I only have 5 because I'm ridiculous and I don't go to any streams, especially lately. So I've been not getting many at all. But those are the ones I've got. I like the ones you've got, Alice. You've got the Pride Lion and that Pride Rise one, and I like those ones. I don't have much of those yet. We'll get them, Van. I believe in us. We'll get them all. I was in a stream where someone gifted a ton. Oh, really? Did you get loads in one go? I'm jealous. I want some. I only had these 2, been hiding from the internet for a bit, needed brown fresh. Yeah, same basically, Master Emerald. And we all need that for sure sometimes. I want the cup and paint. I want the paint one too. Because it's perfect for what we're doing now in the stream. Draw.io, behave yourself. Start working, please. Okay, so... You know what it is? I've realised what the problem is. It's saving every second. So I'm going to have to turn off the auto-save feature because that's when it crashes. There we go. Turn that off. And just for now. Just got to remember to save it though. Okay, so where is it? Limelight. And Master Emerald said Limelight. Unfortunately, I can't just copy and paste text, I don't think, because it ruins the oh no, it's done it that time. Usually the formatting goes funny when you copy and paste. Oh, it still is going funny. So I'm gonna have to manually write it in myself, I think, because it wouldn't let me put it on the same line. I mean, I could use Google Docs, but I don't like that doesn't do dark mode properly. It does have an extension for dark mode, but it looks ugly in my opinion. Oh, those are cute ones, they penguins. Imagine not having dark mode in 20. I know, right? I mean, the problem with the extension, it does the job fine, but it messes up the text and just parts of it look a bit weird to me. I like it if there was an official dark mode in Google Docs, because I don't want to make everybody's eyes bleed with a big white screen. Were you ever a fan of the Harvest Moon series? Hi, Polite. I never played Harvest Moon, actually. I do know of the franchise, the series. And I know it's pretty popular and liked. And I think Stardew Valley was heavily inspired by that, wasn't it? But I never actually played it, no. Missed out on it. Okay, so just so we can make sure the animation descriptions stand out. Just going to change the colour. So draws a circle of paint around the target, which I really like. for that one. Target that's buffed. Put as the title. Oh. I should probably put the image of them just as a reference, especially for folks just stopping in, just so they actually know that they're painters. Painting themed, so we can try and keep the whole painting themed. I think that'd be cool. Toucans eat meat. Interesting. Did you know that fruits eat meat? These? That you never would have guessed that. Okay, so lemon is the one that buffs the yellow, so it would make sense for it to be a yellow. I'll put yellow just so we remember, because they all have their own individual paintbrush colour, don't they? So if we can stick to the colour that they use for, so it makes sense, that would be smart. Also, because Rose is a vampire and a lot of her skills involve blood, and of course it's red blood, I thought a really cool visual thing to do with this fight when it comes to Rose attacking them is actually have Rose suck their fruit juice out of them instead of blood. So we can just recolour Rosie's blood to match with the fruits for whichever fruit she attacks. Because I think that'd be neat. We talked about that a bit last stream. Okay, so which ones are the attacks? So I'm gonna just say at the moment normal, red. Well, it's sort of reddy orange, isn't it? Paintbrush, paint attack. At the moment, I'm going to just say all normal ones for the attacks, but we might, if we need to change some of them for variety, then we can. But normal ketchup, no, normal. Why have I put red orange for apple? Apple's green. My goodness, I've lost my, got no brain. Normal green paintbrush attack. Right, so ketchup crush is the reddy orange one. I think the fact that there'll be different colours, the paints is enough variety, I suppose. Makes it, so that'll probably work. I think I've only got one attack. Okay, attack once every 4 to 5 turns. So that could be a normal yellow paintbrush attack. Because we got 14 skills in, we don't want to put too much work on ourselves where every single skill is specially crafted and unique, because holy crap, we'll be here till Christmas. So a lot of them, the attacks, it would just be a recolouring of what the other fruit attack was, perhaps. Did you know cherry trees are rose plants? Are they? I'm learning things now. I'm a cherry tree. Because I'm a rose plant. Okay, heavy attack with lower hit chance. See, part of me thinks can them's redundant, you know. I mean, it's the same as ketchup crush, except with a, well, it's heavier. You know, maybe I'm just trying to cut skills to make my life easier, but maybe we should keep them. Because it stops things getting too repetitive with the fruits if we have 3 skills instead of 2. If I only had 1 or 2 each, things could get a bit repetitive. But I don't know. But what would the difference be in the animation with this one to the ketchup crush one? That's the question. I suppose the paint could be... we could have more paint for it. To represent that it's a heavy attack. With more paint. That's my first idea anyway. Because Bolognese breath. I just imagine that being similar to poison, except a tomato colour. A tomato style coloured poison. I'm seeing some strong abilities. You can always add a line of dialogue in place of a turn. Yeah. That, if it ended up being super OP, that would help us being overwhelmed, you know, break things up a bit. But another, yeah. I guess I'd be intrigued by what their dialogue lines could be, because anything that sort of adds to the narrative and their story would work. If it was there and it was redundant dialogue, I don't know. But I'm all for like making, adding to the story. I know that the second phase, when we have them behind the painting as well, that we haven't talked much about that, but that could have dialogue in it too. But we don't know yet until we do it. Because at the end of the fight, we do get a choice whether we're going to kill them for good or let them live. So, you know, that having that sort of narrative there, that story, could help us decide what decision we make at the end of the battle. Would it help the battle at all if Lemon's counter-attack cancels the next fruit's turn? It would keep the flavour and it would keep the battle the same difficulty thereabout. If that was easy for me to implement, then it may be, yes. Thing is, I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to the battle stuff still. But I'll put it there as a note. I'm going to put that in my notepad file, because you never know, it could be something that's easily done. I never know until I've done it. We'll see. But you know, we could do the simple thing if we needed to and make them sort of miss a turn, you know, just naturally as well if necessary. We'll see. What I'm thinking is we get the animations done first, and then getting the balancing done can come after, because at the moment it's pretty difficult to do balancing, because without animations the skills just happen in like a couple of seconds each and it's over before you can even tell what's happened. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is OP, and there's just been like 5 attacks in a row and we don't know what's happened. But seeing the animations all kind of slow the pace of the battle a bit, and we'll be able to take it in better, what's actually happening and what skills are being used, because we'll see their animations. Tomato coloured yeah, just that maybe. So what was the party damage buff? We've missed that one out. And if player hits blueberry, oh yes, we can just say normal yellow paint. Because in all honesty, lemonade, the counterattack is just, it's just the same as lemon squeeze, the one it does every 1 to 5 turns. But the only difference is it's used because you've hit blueberry. It's a passive lemonade, so it only happens if you do hit blueberry. So really, lemon only has 2 skills that he actively uses. Can we put in a placeholder animation? We could do. But we'd need it to be visually distinguishable, even if it was a placeholder, because we wouldn't know what it was still if it was just a random placeholder. Because for me, my issue right now is I'd never remember the skills. There's so many skills that they're not implanted into my brain properly yet, visually or mechanically. But I know that once we've got the animations in, I'll start memorising these skills and learning them better. And it'll just help me keep track of things much better. Regular range magic attack. Okay. AoE hits everyone with mild damage. Let's think of the buff first. So party damage buff. Now, this one's the same as Limelight, except it does attack a buff instead of a defense one, and it's also to the whole party. Because I'm thinking we could do the same animation as Limelight, like circle around each of them, but you know, then it'd be hard to distinguish the difference between Limelight and Apocalypse. We wouldn't know if it was Apocalypse or Limelight that was used on a certain fruit. So there needs to be some kind of visual difference. Maybe the shape. So we said a circle for defense. Maybe for damage it could be a different shape thing that paint that's circling the player. That's just my first idea. My goodness, you know a lot about plants and stuff. You know more than I do, Big. Well, actually, I'm realising apple's green, so I'd say that the damage buff would be green. That's going to be the difference, isn't it? Of course. It's yellow for defense and green for damage. Because apple's paintbrush is green, and he's the only one that uses Apocalypse. So yeah. I'd say draws a green circle paint. And we might, if we need to alter this slightly because we're limited with the animation choice, that's cool, but it's nice to have something to go off. Okay, so range, magic attack, AoE. Okay, so I think that'd be the same as a normal paintbrush attack, except obviously ranged. So we'd just see the paint like fly on the enemy from a distance, I guess, from their paintbrushes, rather than them going up to them and use melee. The paint circles around the bosses being their own colour would work, and a small tiny different coloured fruit or icon could indicate that there's a buff. Yeah, like it's at Apocalypse, so an apple themed visual could work too, but it's whether, because there will be, because it's easy enough to have icons for skills. You just make a little icon that can represent, and it's easy enough to get that above their heads. I just don't want too much visual like stuff happening, like visual overload, because we're gonna have a lot of there's a lot of visual symbols, especially if the warrior provokes and stuff as well. So, and then we've got corrosion, which has its own visual thing. So I think as long as we can distinguish between like what the skill is, that's the main thing. So regular range, magic attack, normal, purple, paintbrush attack. I'm going to say ranged. Instead of normal, I'll change that to melee. Now that'd be the same, except it hits everyone. Debuffs target agility. Okay. The only other debuff we've got is Bolognese breath right now. So I suppose it could be a purple coloured. It could work the same. Like that's a tomato coloured dot, so that could be a plum coloured dot, I guess. But apparently that slows them down. I'm trying to, like, you know, keep everything consistent with the ideas that come into my head and keep it simple too, so that we can just do recolours of the same assets. Makes our life easier. Rind to grind lemon zest, something of that sort. Speed up an ally, so he'd have a third ability. Who have a third ability? Lemon? Well, he's sort of got one, even though it's a passive. I'm honestly reluctant to give them any more skills because there's so many, and there's so much that they do, and it's a lot to take in. I don't want the fight to get too overwhelming. And also keeping them as balanced as possible is important too, because Lemon at the moment is one of the strongest on the field. The fact that he protects the healer of the group makes him a very first target, kill him first sort of character, because of how he's a very dangerous one out of the group. In fact, I think Apple's the weakest because he's only got 2 skills. But that's wrong, because that party damage buff is very powerful. Do we even have how many turns that lasts? I have to look into that too. It's just honestly very hard for me to do the balance testing when we don't have animations, so I really want to get them in first. It's just almost impossible because it's just so fast paced. Okay. But the animations is such a huge job, and it's something that needs doing anyway, so it's not like it's a problem. Then coach, like Lemon has a third ability. It takes up a turn, and it's him pointing out to Blueberry, who needs the big heal. Who needs the big heal? Yeah, there's a large single heal. I almost forgot about that attack because we haven't looked at Blueberry yet. Yeah, I don't know how hard something like that would be to implement. You know. Like, Lemonade itself was a challenge for me to get implemented, and I think it's working now. I kind of don't want to think too much about new skills. You know, it's let's get these ones done first, and we'll see how it's balanced and how it works, and if there's alterations that need doing, then we'll do that after. And because a lot of the skills are going to just be recolorings of the same skill, even if we have to cut some of the skills, you know, it's not like it's. I don't think we will cut them though. I think if all we'll do at the most is just make them skip a turn, or make the skills just slightly weaker. Okay, so we just got Blueberry, and he's the healer, and it's thinking of how his are gonna look, how his skills visually are gonna look, because he doesn't attack, he just heals. And paint themed skill healing, I guess he's blue. Blue's, I guess, some sort of blue paint animation that could represent a heal. I'm not sure what, but I'm sure there'll be something. Yeah, this one's the hardest one to imagine. Painting as a heal visually. I mean, it's easy when it comes to attacking because you think, yeah, just a paint splatter will do. And we've already got the idea of a circle for the buffs. Takes up a turn and could help the player follow the battle easier. What do you mean by takes up a turn, Nash? Or you mean skip a turn, or just for clarification? Right. I'm trying to, because nothing's springing to mind right now for what the blueberry paint heels could look like. I don't mind putting blueberry to the side right now while we at least search for some animations, because it might be a sensible idea to actually look at our resources first and what we've got, because we want to actually see what we've got, because so one sec, I'm gonna just get up a couple of the websites that I have bookmarked that have got some really cool animations. So I'm going to get them up first. I've got a really long list of bookmarks, so I'm scrolling down. Okay. Okay, instead of doing that, I'll do it this way. Is there any easy way to open my bookmarks? Show bookmarks. What are? No. Bookmarks manager, that's it. Okay, so I'll get them up for you to see in a sec, guys. Just making sure I'm getting up the right links. Okay, there's just one website that I remember seeing an asset from. I must have not booked. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I thought I did bookmark it. Okay, so here we go. I think I've got everything up. Wow, we've got a few websites here though, but we'll see what looks the best first. So here we go. This was one that we saw the other week. I thought that they looked like paint, that were quite cool here, these particular ones. So they were the first ones that sprung to my mind anyway, but I'm going to see what else is out there too. I think the main thing with these assets, the ones that we do pick, is that we have consistency. You know, we want them to look visually similar if we're going to use a certain style. If we're going to use something that looks more stylized and cartoon looking, we don't want to have another paint skill that's very like realistic looking. So that's one type we could go for. I like these because these are really good sort of icon indicators that can go above players' heads for debuff and stuff. I actually used that one for wing shot, Hunter's wing shot ability. I don't know if any of these resemble paints though, but I feel like we could always try our best to make an edit to one of these to make it look like a paint, because what some of these could be perfect for the the circle that we described for Limelight. Draws a yellow circle of paint around the target that's buffed, and same for the green circle as well, like one of those two. If we edited it just a touch so it looked like paint, I guess we'd have to say how that goes. And then we got these ones as well, which are interesting pixel art ones. I don't know if any of these look like paint, probably because they're grey. But these are the sort of things that if recoloured could resemble paint as well. But it depends what we prefer, because these are great and look just like paint, but the only problem with them is that that's the only visual. We've not got much choice visually. That's the only particular animation type we have for those. But with something like this, we've got a lot of different types, different directions and different styles that just need recolouring. And then we have that website we looked at the last week, but these are different. These, I don't know if there's any here that look painty looking. These look a bit more like, your traditional heels and magic and explosions. They're great, but I don't know if any look painty looking here in this section. So this was a really cool website too, and I looked through them all, but I don't know if there was any paint ones. I mean, I can do a search and put paint. I don't think there was any. I remember looking through and none of them. Hi Kong, how you doing? It's good to see you. I imagine anything that looks liquid could also be recoloured to look painty too. Yeah, I think that's the thing. There's a number of styles we could go for, but we want to be consistent. We've got a range of looks here. We've got a melee paintbrush attack that can just be recoloured. We've got the ranged paintbrush attack, could be the same animation or very similar, I'd say. And we've also got the buff animations, the attack and the defense one that Apple and Lemon use. And we have the Bolognese breath, which is the dot on the player, and the dot on from Plum and Tomato. So that's two more different paint ones. And then we've got Blueberry's heel ones, so they could be we've got a lot of different visual style paint animations there, and although I like those ones, I'm not sure we can get enough variety out of those. I mean, maybe we could. I mean, they'd work great for the normal attacks, and maybe they'd work for the others too. We could make them work. As for the circle going around for the buffs, I think these have got that to a T. They just need to be edited so they resembled paint. We could always, for some, try our best to sort of get that same look if we decided to use those ones. Yeah, in all honesty, I'm either thinking go for that one and edit them so they work for each of the skills, or go for these and recolour them, like things, you know, but would they look painty enough? That's the thing. So that they're definitely the most painty, so it feels like they're the right ones to go for, but it's whether we can get enough variety out of them. But I guess we'll have to say. The dot that gets thrown and ends like a circle, that one in grey and black. Oh, which one? Grey and black. Were you on about these ones, Kung? Yeah, I see these like definitely caught my eye too, because there's so much variety of attacks here, and with a recolour you never know if they could look like paints. I feel like some testing needs to be done to see which ones work the best. I want to remind myself how their painting attack works, so I'm going to do a quick test play, because they do like sort of move their brush a bit when they attack, so that'll help me visualize better what the paints could look like in the actual animations. So let's have a look. Those bloops and then splash could work, same with slashes of grey. Yeah, we'll say, guys, well, I think we're on to something here. I think we've definitely found assets, enough of them. They just might take a bit of some editing if we're gonna, we'll experiment, see what we can do. So yeah, so as you can see, Tomato just ran up to, was it to Rose? It does that, it like has an angry face and it just moves its paintbrush, and that's basically how the melee attack works. So all we'd need to do is have a splash, I guess, because something that looked like would come off that paintbrush when it does that action. So it's simple enough, I'd say. There's nothing really too complicated about that animation. The world looks really pretty. Thank you, Alice. I do like the fruits, because we spent a lot of time developing those and creating them and making them unique characters. I'm looking from the side. My head's like that because I'm looking at these paints from the side. Are they classed as paints? Yeah, splurt is what they've called them. I want to test them, guys. I want to test these ones first. These ones still might come in, especially for the buffs and debuffs and the healing. But I feel like if we did use them, we might obviously need to recolour them and make them look as close to this as possible, especially if we do use these for the attacks. Because these, to me, I think these are really good splashes. These ones could be too, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, so download. We're downloading them now. When it's called splurt, you know that it's paint. Okay. It feels like it was too good to be true to find nice, to be honest. I think the only question mark for me is if we can get him enough variety out of those, which is why we might need to combine them with some of the others if we have to. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to just put these in the animations folder. Let me just click them and make sure. Might have to open them in Photoshop. One sec, folks. Okay, I saw that Windows changed some of my settings again, like it always does. I have to fix that. Okay, so I'm just gonna open these. Let's get Photoshop up there. Here. Okay. So this is going to be the first one we try, but first I want to just remind myself which one Kong said. A national. The dot that gets thrown and ends like a circle. Yeah, I think you meant this one, didn't you? This bottom one. I think you might have anyway. National said the bloops and splash could work. Same with the slashes of grey. Yeah, feel free to point out to me, guys, if any stuck to you in particular, because there's quite a few here. But we'll work on these ones for a sec. Okay, so let's get what we'll do is we'll test tomato. Ketchup brush, isn't it, that he uses? So first of all, I'm going to open his character, his battle sprite, should I say, because I want to get the colour matched, because it wouldn't look good if the colour didn't match. So I'm just going to get the tip from his paintbrush, plop it over the animation. That's probably pretty close. I'm just going to save those selective colour numbers so in case we need them for something else. Going. So now he actually matches more with tomato, sort of. Do you know about the reds on the edge? Hang on, let's see. for now that'll do. I think it's close enough compared to how it was before, which was that. Okay, so you can go for a sec to more time. I'm going to save. Just save this as splurt for now. And we'll get this animation put in. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so animations. Now, player animations are down at the bottom and our enemy animations are here, and there's a few gaps at the moment because we haven't finished those ones yet. Okay, so how many skills did Father Maple have again? Let me remind myself so don't overwrite. Okay, he had 3. Cool. So we'll say lemon. We might need to move a few of them around sometimes because, oh, here we go. So was it Ketchup Crush? Yeah, Ketchup Crush was the first one. Okay, so here we go. Now we need to make a few bits of editing. We'll get rid of the effects. We need to change the blending mode because at the moment it's on overlay or screen. There we go. So that's on normal now. We need to rotate it as well. There we go. That's more like it. Hi Guy, how you doing? It's good to see you. That emote is crazy cute. I love it. Do you love it? Because you should. I'll be very proud. And did some progress. Now there's labels. Oh, is that with your game, Cloud? I'll have a look because I'm curious. Oh, GG, well done. You got a world map then? World maps are very nostalgic for me. I'm about to order 9 more emotes from the artist on Wednesday. Oh my goodness. Well, I understand. When you get an emote that looks that good, it's always very tempting to have more. And I'm looking forward to seeing the others. And I love that one of Alice's as well. It's very cute. The reindeer horns. Are they called horns? I don't know if that's the right word. I will miss the old ones. Yeah, you get attached to those old ones. I remember how I felt sad when I replaced my first ever emo as well. I was gutted, but sometimes it has to be done so you can get even cooler emotes. But not to say they're not cool. They're amazing too. Hope you're doing well, Rose. I'm doing decently, Guy. I hope you are too. How's Mario Maker treating you? Did you see it, Rose? I did. I was like, oh, so you've got a world map then? And then I says that world maps are super nostalgic for me. Also, I might need to take a short break very soon because I've definitely had a lot of water and that bladder needs emptying. But I want to test this battle first with Ketchup Crush. So we're just given the animation, but we also have to make sure that we've given it to the skill as well. So there we go. Ketchup Crush. So that should work, I think, now. I think, in all honesty, that's the only setup I have to do for that. So let's do another battle test and see how that goes. It's fun as always, but my guys sure don't go easy on me. Oh no, with the fewer levels. Oh no. And thank you for that follow, Blur, as well. I appreciate that. Welcome to stream. Trying to make a world map, it's my first time now. Well, you know, everyone has to start somewhere, and it's good that you are. Good luck with it. Okay, so we might need to wait a while before Tomato uses ketchup crush, we'll see. Okay, so we used it straight away. And I didn't look at it properly, in all honesty, so we'll test it again. Oh no, he won't let us escape. Because it's a boss, so let's do it again. Congratulations on stream 150. No, I completely just remembered that it is stream 150 today. A special number, isn't it? 150. And it's a very small number as well compared to what the project's going to be by the in the future. Still makes me laugh that someone commented on a YouTube video of mine thinking that 100 streams was a lot. I mean, it is a lot, but you know, it's going to be thousands at the end. No pressure or anything, but that is what it will be. This is an epic RPG, guys. I only touched the tip of the iceberg, as I always say. Congrats. Oh, thank you guys. I should have had stream 150 for my birthday stream, shouldn't I? Would have felt more special than 151 being my birthday stream. Because 151 isn't an exciting number. Okay, if we go, I think it looked okay, the ketchup crushes, but I do need to see it again. It is in 2 days. I don't want to get older. Okay, I think it'll find the animation might just need to be made a little bit smaller. But it's the sort of thing I have to look at animations about a bazillion times to make sure they're fine. Tomato's not going to attack for ages now. Yeah, I want it to look like it's coming from the paintbrush, you know, because right now I think it's overlaying the paintbrush. So the positioning and size might just need to be slightly adjusted. If I can get a print screen, that'll be good. So let's see. But the good thing about having the animations in, we'll be able to know what skill's being used much easier. It's really difficult to tell when there's no animations there. Oops. That dialogue box needs placing over Tomato's head. You're not using ketchup crush now. We're going to be hanging out on my birthday. I know he's not going to be streaming on my birthday because we're going to hang out, but obviously online. We don't get the pleasure of being in each other's company because we live thousands of miles apart and there's a pandemic, so life is silly. We celebrate this one now for this reason, and then we celebrate the next one for another even more special reason. Yay! No, but it's still cute. Ah, thank you, Kung. Hi Chameleon, how you doing today? It's good to see you. Hope you're having a great day. We're doing alright, aren't we, chat? Doing alright. Hopefully one day, I know, and then we can go for sushi, Alice, if you like sushi. I mean, I love sushi, but some people don't. We gotta just make him move here. One day it will happen. Right. Tomato, use the attack, please. I want to take a print screen. I might have to start again because if he's... I don't know if I gave MP to it. Maybe there's a limited amount of MP. There's a reason he wasn't using Ketchup Crush again. He shouldn't have MP though. I don't remember doing that. I love sushi. Yeah, sushi's my favourite, like, thing to go out and eat. Did someone say sushi? Yeah, it's just my fave. I'm obsessed with it. I have an obsession with sushi. So for those of you that are first coming in, we're testing our first boss today. We're adding some animations, tidying up the little messy parts of the battle as best as we can. And the goal this week is just to get it to a good standard and actually be a fun fight. And we're giving them each of their skills animations right now, so we can actually see what skills each of them use. And why isn't the tomato? Hang on, the tomato's not doing what he should be. Use Ketchup Crush, please. He keeps using Can Them instead, and we haven't set up an animation for that one yet. Finally, he did it. It's about time. So yeah, we've got the animation for that one. Now let's get rid of the test play set. Did I even have the screen up for you guys then? I don't even think I did. Let's get it up. Okay, so the screenshot that I took wasn't very good, but I think I have an idea what to do anyway to make it a little bit better. I think I watched it a few times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it just a bit smaller and move it. That might be too small though. It's down to 5%. We'll see how that looks now. I've just made the tomato paint animation a bit smaller and moved it a bit to the right, so it gives the illusion that it's coming from the paintbrush. So do another test play, and once it looks good, once we're happy with how it looks, we can give it to the other fruits for their attacks then and just change the colour. My work systems have crashed. Looks like I might have to watch your stream instead. Oh, well, that's an excuse to not have to do work, so that's a good thing. It's always fun when that happens. I remember when that happened when I used to work in an office and they sent us all home. It was the best day ever. You saw it happen. It was awesome. What was awesome, National? Oh my goodness, what was awesome? I need to know. Bolognese breath's a disgusting name. but it's good. I like that it's a gross name. Use ketchup crush. Stop using bolognese breath. It's pointless if you've already put it on us. I need to think about that. I need to set up their AI properly. Because really, if they've already put a debuff on both of us, they shouldn't be doing that again, right? You know, it's pointless. It's a bit silly of them to do that. Unless it's stacked, of course. And then it's fine to do that. We could always make it stack if we wanted to. The paintbrush attack, it looked cool. Yay! That's the goal. That's the goal, making it look cool as possible. I'm just waiting so patiently for him to use ketchup crush now. Oh. I was like excited, and then I was like, oh. Because it was in completely the wrong position. Right, let's, one sec. Basically, this is how it looks. I took a screenshot. For some reason, it's there instead of here. And I think part of the problem is, looking at it now, he's far too close to us. He needs to step back a bit. Because he, you know, the paint would be on the floor if we'd moved it there. It wouldn't be hitting us. It's meant to be hitting us. So the positioning's just a bit wrong at the moment. We gotta fix the positioning. Okay, have we got lag? Yeah, we had lag. I think it's back to normal. I think. We rarely get lag nowadays, to be honest. Usually it happens if we get a bit of a, if my PC gets a bit overloaded with programs. But it doesn't happen often. Before I had the upgrade, it was happening every second. Okay, so I'm going to just look at that paint file just to guide me what needs changing. So I think the first step will be front base. One sec. Yeah, you can do an offset. We'll do an offset, that'll be the trick. 'Cause I did that with Rose's drain skill. She was a little bit too far away from the enemies and it didn't look like she was biting them. So we can do that for... Would it be minus 100 or would it be 100 to say? I'm going to do a test to find out because I forgot. Yeah, we just need the fruits to be a little bit more back when they're attacking us, so we can give the impression that their paintbrush is actually hitting us and not the floor. Not empty floor or air. You can have apple, chat eyes, tomato, and a little call out to bad battle AI. Apple's lovely though. Apple's a sweetheart. He'd never tell anybody off. He's too nice. But I am very intrigued by the idea of having the dialogue in battle between them. I'm just wondering how I would implement that without it being disruptive and so added to the narrative, you know. That it's just that those things I'd want to make sure of. But I like the idea of having dialogue. Just thinking what. Okay. Keep the game what save file it was. Okay, I think he was behind. I need to see that again, because he did ketchup crush and caught me unawares there. But yeah, I think he was more backwards. There we go. Did I take the screenshot in the right place? Oh, let's see. This is always the annoying part when you have to like tidy things up, but once you've done it, it's very satisfying when you actually get it looking nice and not a mess. Okay, that's probably more like it. Like before, he was literally right in front of Rose and the paintbrush wasn't even hitting her. But now, he's there. So when he uses his paintbrush attack, I think it should go in his face, but I don't know whether, I wish I took the animation of the paint. I didn't catch it at the right time. We'll have to do it again so we know what position to move that in. For real, better to have good battle AI rather than poking fun at it. Yeah, for sure. And some of these things, like flaws in the battle, might not even be spotted until further down the road in episode 1's development. Like somebody in the community could play the first playable build or second or third playable build, because I'll constantly be updating on the build once the first one's released. Someone could do it and be like, oh, that shouldn't be like that, and then I'll change it then. So I'm not expecting things to be perfect first attempt. I'm kind of expecting to be consistently sort of smoothing things out until episode 1's release. But my goal is to get it at a decent standard, you know, so it's not an absolute unplayable mess. That's really the main thing right now. Okay, so ketchup crush, please. Ooh. I got panicked because I didn't know if I took the screenshot at the right time. Let's see. I'm not going to cross off the test play this time, no, just in case we didn't. Oh, okay, here we go. Here's how it looks. In fact, the positioning of Tomato is perfect. We just need to move the animation. We need that there instead, don't we, guys? We need it over Jesus's face. So, looking at that, we just need to move it by about 100 pixels on the x-axis. And I think that might do it. And we might have our perfect animation. And I agree, this looks good. I think we couldn't get a better paint animation than that. The colouring isn't too perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's close, but I want to spend a bit more time getting it closer to Tomato's colour. But it's fine for now. Okay, so Okay, so I'm pretty sure, let's close that off. I'm pretty sure that that's it now. I think we've got the positioning correct now. We'll see in this test play, and if it is, we'll do the other attack and colours for the other fruits and we can see how they look, and then after that we'll do the animations for the ranged ones and do the buffs and the debuffs, and that'll be really cool if we can have a mess around with how they look as well. And then we'll do some more, but we'll do some balancing properly on my birthday, on my birthday stream. Because if we'll get the animations in first, and it'll be just more of a pleasure to do balancing when we can actually see something visual and fun. Nothing more boring than doing it when you can't see them. Okay, there we go. It's going to just make the battle so much more lively, you know, and... Oh. Ketchup Crush was miles off. That's interesting. It seems that... I think I understand what's happening and why it had gone more backwards. It's because it's an enemy, it works the opposite way. It, like, flips the skill, if that makes sense. So I actually have to... do that. There we go. I think that's fine now. Like if I was doing that for a party member skill, the way I set it up would have been perfect because they're facing the other way. But because it's an enemy and they're facing us, it has to be the other way round. For animation testing, can we make all the fruits tomatoes? Yeah, that'd be perfect because then we'd be able to just test Ketchup Crush to our liking without having to be patient. Oh, did I take that right? The only thing that stops me from doing that, in all honesty, is just the time it would take to change a multiple tomatoes, and I always... This is silly of me, like I think this is silly personally, but I always worry that once I've changed it, I won't be able to get it back to how it was, because I had an experience once where I changed something for testing, and when I tried to get it back to how it was meant to be, it took me like days to get it back to normal. And I think that was my fault for not having a backup, but I should have had a backup somewhere. But I've just this weird fear of that happening. But it is definitely sensible for testing purposes to do things like that sometimes. Did we... Hang on. OBS there, which isn't right. Okay, so we didn't get the animation in. But yeah, it definitely saves a ton of time in some ways. Or you can always, you know, edit the skills so he only ever uses Ketchup Crush. That's always a way to. But you know, we're seeing the other fruit skills as we're waiting, and it made me realise a few things about the debuffs and that we need to redo the AI or stack them. So I'm kind of learning as I'm watching anyway. So it's not too much of a waste of time. Just use ketchup crush. Oh my god, we're gonna die. I think in all honesty, these are very OP. They're very OP. Either some of them have to skip a turn, or we just make the attack power weaker. It's one or the other. Does Tomato cycle through attacks, or it looks like it's random which skill he'll use? Yeah, what was the setup? I'm actually going to have a quick browse now you say that, because I'm intrigued myself. Here we go. Tomato. Ketchup crush. It looks like it's a complete random... It looks like it's even between all three of them. There's not really a rotation for Tomato. There must have been a reason for that, because I remember we spent a couple of streams back when we did set up these skills, and the reason we had the condition and for a reason for each of them. Whereas for Blueberry it's completely different. He does have a rotation. He does bloop on turn 1, Bunts in a Blue Moon on turn 2, and Thank You Very Much on turn 3. Tomato and Plum are random. Apple does that one on turn 1 and Apocalypse on turn 2. Lemon does Lemon Squeeze on 1 of every 5 turns. But yeah, Tomato and Plum seem like the only random ones out of the bunch. We could edit it so he's always using Ketchup Crush and not the others. But because I did break the database for skills, I added like a ton of skills. So every time I try and edit a skill, there's a lag, there's a long pause. So I get very impatient with editing skills now. But here we go. I might not need to have that many skills anymore though, because we had a good discussion about skill bloat and we said it's probably not a good idea. So I could always make the skill number smaller now in the database. I just get scared. I don't want to run out of skills is all. So we do have enemy skills to think about too, and RPG Maker by default doesn't allow for a gigantic amount. Hi Muffin Mancer, how you doing? It's good to see you. Having a good start to your week. How are things going? I'm gonna just change that to 9, because if I put it on 9 I think it means it uses it more often on 9. I hope it doesn't mean it uses it less. Might mean 1 for more often actually. Ugh. Let's have a look. There should be a tooltip that comes up for that. One with the highest rating will be the standard. Okay, I can't be bothered to read that right now. I'm not going to get too fussy about the positioning of this right now, because it's easy work, guys, in all honesty. I just need to test and get the positioning right. It just takes a bit of time. What I do want to do is make sure we get a good visual look in for some of our other skills that aren't so straightforward. So let's have a look at this again. Okay, draws a green circle of paint when buff targets and the yellow circle of paint. I think that... I'd really like to attempt doing those skills visually. Set breath to 1 so we can compare. Yeah, I think we could do that. I feel that it's going to take the whole stream just doing the positioning for that, but I'll get it done for Wednesday's stream, and I want the animations to be in a good state so we can do the battles testing properly without getting distracted or confused. So you'll see it for sure. I'll get it looking badass national, I promise. But I'm well. Good to hear it. Good to hear it. Okay, so should we attempt doing some edits of these cool badass animations? So this will be a challenge because I'm actually not sure how to go about this exactly, but we're gonna do it. What I'm thinking is, you know, these animations we found here, guys, where are they? These ones. Because we already have like the perfect rotating circle here with this one in particular, this looks like a flame, I think. I'm thinking of using that one as a base, but editing it so it looks like this. Editing it so it looks like this visually. So let me open, because I did already save these animations. So here it is. Here's it's called Fire Spin. So I'm gonna give it a grey background so we can actually see. Okay. So we do have, there's a lot of frames here. But I think once we've done one frame, it'll be fine. We'll use this one as a base. Is there any that look more like a circle here? Probably this one. Just going to get some references in. Yeah, okay, so the plan is, this is an animation for a buff skill that both Apple and Lemon will use. One will be a defense buff, the Lemon one, and the Apple one will be an attack buff. And visually, it's going to be a circle of paint that like rotates around the target that's buffed. That's the description of it. So we're going to try our best to, we're basing it on this flame animation here, this one on in the middle here. So it's going to be a rotating little bit of paint. I think that's the idea, isn't it, guys? I think that's what we're gonna do, because we want it to look as close as possible to this animation here visually. So that's why I've dragged in these green images as a reference point. So okay, so once we've done one frame, it's easy then. We just got to copy and paste the others and rotate them a little. And I'll feel awesome if I manage to pull this off. Don't want it to, yeah. I don't think that's distorted it too much. I don't know if we should have the little tiny dots around, because we'll get rid of them for now. In all honesty, it's literally just a green splodge with a faint green, dark green outline and light green splodges randomly placed. So I'm gonna see if I can actually the edge is quite soft though. I have got it on 0% hardness. Are all the brushes? I don't have any soft brushes. Interesting. We can always just blur the outline a bit if we need to. I don't want it to look too circular. I like how with these splashes they look like paint, you know. It's a bit it's not like the perfect circle, if that makes sense. I'm probably going to take some time to get it exactly how I want it to, but should we just hide that for a sec? Gotta go. See you then. Take care, Cloud. Thank you for hanging out with us. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Okay, so now this is going to be the interesting bit, doing the outline, because I want it to look as close as possible to the original, like this one here. And it's a little bit harder around the edge at the moment. So I know if we give it a stroke, it's going to look really, yeah, it's going to look, even if we change it to another colour, it's still going to be a very hard stroke. Very sharp, so I feel like we're gonna have to blur the edges a bit, maybe. I'm gonna just delete the edge of this one just so it can be the same. In fact, I'm actually gonna soften the edges of all of it first of all. So I think the stroke will look better once I've done that. The old Final Fantasy VII music is amazing. I agree. It's special to me because I grew up listening to it. Nostalgia is powerful. All the Final Fantasies have like incredible soundtracks though, but 7 especially stirs up the memories because it was my first. Now, if we give it a stroke now, obviously we don't want it to be that dark. Yeah, something more to that degree. Yeah, like we get in there, guys. It's like really close now. Tell the paint splodges. Look, I just think all we need to do is have a few. I don't understand where all my soft brushes have gone, because can I reset the brushes? Yeah, I'm going to reset. I've reset them and I've still got a ton of hard brushes. It's like Photoshop is broke. Because I know that soft brushes are there by default, so it's very odd. But anyway, I'll just have to manage. Welcome back, Van. How you doing? I don't want to overdo it with the highlights though. I'm just having a look how it looks here. Yeah, there's plenty of highlights, so we can, I think we're putting them in the right spots. We just need to make sure they don't look blunt like this. I have to. Okay, so let's just go around the edge with a razor. I'm still baffled why I've got no soft brushes. I mean, yeah, soft brushes, it's weird. But we can just do it this way for now. An interesting meeting, or are we allowed to know the goss? Something about that don't look right. I don't think I like that bit, that's why. I think I do want some little paint splodges around as well, little tiny ones, so I might just because it looks more like paint when they're there. But on the other frames, I'll probably have to change the position, maybe, so we don't look like there. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. yeah, it's not 100% perfect, but you get the idea. I think it's only took me like 5 minutes to 10 minutes to do that, so maybe a little bit longer, I don't know. But kind of like the end of that one, so yeah, I like how it's more like a, yeah, I definitely prefer that. So move that there. There we go. Oh no, don't know what's happened to our stroke. There we go. Okay, so I'll just settle for that for now. I'll tidy it up a bit more later and do the other frames, but basically should we delete? I'm just going to delete what we don't need. So yeah, basically my goal is to sort of use this flame looking rotating circle as a template and just do it with the paint one. And that will then be the animation for the fruit that is buffed. But I might need to change the size of it, I don't know, because we got to consider how it'll look on the fruit as well in battle. So I might just do a crappy version of that for now and just test it to see how it looks before I spend loads of time making sure it's perfect. But also there's other skills I want to at least consider. I kind of want to do a bit of each of them just to make sure that the visual look is in place first. And decided. So I'm gonna write down the types of attacks we need to do. So let's just make that longer. So animation types is, first one was the melee. Ranged animation, paint splash animation. That's one, which we've sort of done, and we're happy. We're sort of happy with how that looks. We're just going to get the positioning right in battle for it. It looks like that. That's tomatoes. So we've got to just get the positioning right for it. It looks good other than that. And then do a recolor of it for the other fruits attacks. So that one's done. The other... Yeah, I'm going to have to try and keep track of this. I'm going to put one in brackets. So green melee, yellow melee, yellow melee. that's the one we've done, Ketchup Crush. Yeah, we still haven't even thought of the blueberries animations yet, but I imagine it's just going to be the same splash, just edited so it fits with a heel somehow, which we'll think about. That's also type 1. Now the type 2 was the buffs, which was this one and that one, which is the little circle that you just saw me do in Photoshop, that one, which I'm working on doing right now. So that's all of apples and lemons then. They only have the type 1 and type 2. So buff animations. Buff, circle of paint buff animations, that's it. One will be yellow and one will be green. And the other one is the dots, the debuff dots that go on the player. That's type 3. And there's 2. There's one that Tomato uses, Bolognese Breath, and the other one is Plum the Deaths that Plum uses, which slows the player. But I'm kind of thinking, I like how blueberry, lemon and apple take it in turns with their attacks. I'm not sure if I'm fond of the orangey approach of tomato and plum just yet, so when we balance it on Wednesday, if we feel we need to change the order they do their attacks in, then we can do that, but we'll see. Right, so that's all of those, which we haven't considered that animation yet, but we will before the end of stream. I kind of, before the end of stream at least, want to get the visual in mind and in Photoshop, you know, like even just a first draft of an edit like that. That's like, I just got it done in 15 minutes. And I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it for all of them, but I wanted to see if it was like doable first before I got attached to that animation idea, but now I know it is, then I'm cool. So the debuff one, what did we say that was going to look like? We just said tomato and plum coloured dots, but we don't actually know what the dots will look like. We'll just call them dots. Dot animations. We know the tomato one will be tomato coloured and the plum one will be plum coloured, but we haven't really decided visually what the shape of the animation will be. So let's just have a quick look at what our animations actually look like. So it's a splash, really, that's all it is. We don't have any others. The only other thing we can do is have a look at these animations and see if we can merge them somehow. But because it's a dot, we need that visual indicator that the dot's on the player still. It needs to be a very subtle animation that can loop without looking irritating. So I don't know if any of these would work as a loop, you know, so... I mean, that could. What was it? Bolognese breath. I suppose if it was changed to the tomato colour, this particular mission, that would sort of look like Bolognese breath. This one here that I'm highlighting is the closest one, because I'm trying to think of a good visual for the dot, and that dot animation will constantly be above the player's head in battle to show us that the dot's on them. And I think that's the only one that looks anything like something that could work. The start of that animation that you pointed out, the whole thing looking at it, this one, National, just double checking because I could have been talking about another one for all I know. But yeah, it looks like breath to me. That it kind of looks like breath. I'm imagining it being a burgundy bolognese colour and just being like above the player's head, and the player having an injured pose, and being in glowing, having like a deep red burgundy glow to him. That could totally work for being under a bolognese breath state. That bursting one next to it looks good too for something. Yeah, that. Or even this circular one. I think that looks cool as like something that looks like arrows, if that makes sense. Like it actually looks like a good action animation, like a slash or I don't know. But this one, because I'm thinking of Plumb the Depths as well, because we've still got that one, which is the plum coloured dot, which is the agility slowing down one. And I guess because we used a similar thing for Wing Shot, it was like a circle. The circle, I think for consistency, something tells me that could work for Plumb the Depths if it was turned into a purple. I know, I'm going to experiment. But definitely I'll be using these animations to base the dots on, for sure. I'll just be recolouring them. But once they're recoloured, I think they could be cool dot animations for Plumb the Depths and Bolognese breath. So I'm going to put in brackets just so I know. What's the name? Victor Hahn was the artist. I think I remember the ones that we brought up, so. And the circle paint buff animations, we've got that. And the only other one is the blueberry. We haven't considered what visually the healer ones could look like. So let's think. Would any of these fit healer? I mean, some of these ones, like the explosive looking ones, like the star shaped ones, could totally represent healer well, but I just don't know if it looks like a paint splash enough. So if we were going to use those ones, I'd have to edit them to look like that again, to look like the paint splash, like I'm doing with the circle. Just like using it as a base and putting that over it. But yeah, the star sort of ones could work. But I like that I'm thinking about this, because I'm starting to enjoy thinking ahead and actually having knowing which ones I'm going to use before I do them. Makes me just feel more at ease. So what ones have we got? We got that one. We've got that one. Basically the ones that come out like that I think could suit healing. Because we have 3 different heal types. We've got the small single heal, the small group heal, so that could be the same animation. The only difference is one's an AoE and one's just a single target. But the large single heal one's the interesting one. I suppose we could use the same animation but just make a bigger version of it. But yeah, I'm feeling like using something like that one as a base, this star one. Star's the best way I can describe it. And then just visually building that paint sort of look over the top of it, so it looks like paint. I think that could work. I'm trying to think of my schedule now between now and Wednesday. Because I've got to get Carol's flashback scene up, but I honestly think that'll be done after today. Because I think I know where I can find some earphones. I think I've got some hidden in a drawer somewhere. So once I've got them, I can just make sure everything sounds okay in the scene. And then I can record it for you guys and then put it in the Discord. I'm just really excited to do that, so I'm just gonna go in the Discord now and edit what that says. So I think that'll do. And I can't delay it anymore, guys. I need to get it in because it's an important task. And then probably won't get the fruit scene in this week because we're focusing a lot on the battle mechanics, and especially because I'll be doing the animations before Wednesday's stream. That will take priority rather than the scene for now. But I am to get it up by the latest before the 1st of July. I'd like to get it up in the Discord before the 1st of July, because then that'll be a really useful job done. Okay, so here we go. So the last and final 4th type is heals. Which will, I don't know why Draw.io does this weird thing where you can't actually, it's very mean when you try and copy and paste stuff. It doesn't like it when you do that, so I have to manually write everything. Keyboard ASMR, it's taking over the stream again. Hope you guys like the keyboard ASMR because we get it here a lot. Because I've got a loud, cheap keyboard. Star shape. I don't know how to describe those ones for Bolognese breath. That one and the circle one. I think I'll remember the ones. Okay, so yeah, then there's only the 4. heal burst of paint on top target. I think that's probably the best way to describe how that star shape looks. And it'll be blue because blueberry's blue. Blue is very healing themed. I mean, you know, our game's called Raindrop Chronicles and raindrops are blue. And there's a chance that they'll sort of be our potions of the game as well. We haven't thought much about what the potions are going to be or what they're going to be called, but it wouldn't surprise me if we linked them in with the whole raindrop concept somehow, but it's still up in the air right now. But I like how blueberry's blue because it represents healing. It wouldn't have the same effect if tomato was the healer and you had red as a heal, because red represents blood and being hurt and damaged. So I think it's very good that we have... I think we got the right fruits for the right roles. More keyboard. Could we make it so it's a normal attack for blueberry and it's set to heal with a healing symbol at the end of the animation? I've got a bunch of potion names and things. I need to get those to you. Awesome. I'm excited for the item stream. I mean, it's probably going to be... It might not even be in the summer when we have the item stream, because we have a lot of other stuff to do. I don't think we've got any item stream on this list right now. But it'll be at some point. I might actually release the first playable build before I add the items to the game, but we'll see, because I might want to have items before doing that. Depends how things are. Hang on. So when you say with a healing symbol at the end of the animation, healing symbol, remind me or give me a visual description of the healing symbol you have in mind. And when you say normal attack, do you mean so he hits the group? Because I definitely want to... I think when it comes to melee or... you know, keeping that exclusively for apple, lemon and... lemon and tomato, and plum being the magic sort of damage person is probably best, because we're getting a lot of damage as the party. If that's what you meant, that is, I don't know. Okay, so I like light vital goldfish yellow, healing visuals. Oh yeah, yellow's definitely a good healing. Represents healing as well. Lemon just happens to be our tank. Or white, yeah. I was like, what's white? But now I get it, it's white. Okay, so did we put 4 in brackets? But yeah, we'll have a better idea of adjustments when it comes to these when we do the balancing. I don't want to change things too hard, because we could, if we do, we could be here another 2 weeks on this boss fight if we make things too complicated and change too much. So for keeping things simple and getting it done by the end of the month like we want to, feels like the easiest thing to do would either be to make them skip turns or just lower their damage number so that we're not dying left, right and centre from these skills. We'll have to say when we did the balancing. Might I autocorrect on Swedish? Yeah. Might I suggest a HP drain attack like low damage but heals the user for maybe 1 to 4 the damage out. Yeah, Rose is the drain master. She literally has that exact ability, drain, as an actual skill, a vampire skill in the game. So that is it's definitely a nice one for sure. It's very helpful, especially as we don't have a traditional healer in the party. We're lacking one right now. So having Rose be a sort of self-healer like that helps a lot. And she's got a skill called Transaction as well, which heals allies too with her own health. So that helps heal them too if necessary. It was, yes, a sloppy fix to doctor up Blueberry's melee tech. The blue, especially Pretty Blue, would look cool as a healing ability. Yeah, I think blue and yellow are the best healing colours for sure. I'm just glad Tomato's not the healer, because that would have been it would have been funny. Complete Vite means penalty. Yeah, okay, so let me think. Is there anything I haven't said? Because I'm thinking this. Oh yeah, I've got to remember that we wanted that thing, don't we, where Rose's abilities, like the drain, the blood changes to the colour of the fruit that she's draining from. So that's something I've got to remember. It's not just about the enemy animations, it's about the player animations too. So I'm going to change that to enemy animation types. And then I'm going to put down here player animations. Change Rose's red blood attacks to match the colour of the fruit she attacks. Hope that's not too wordy. So when you say we use drain on apple, it'll be green blood coming out of apple. You know, apple's green life essence, his juices. You know, it just makes more sense, and it's just so much. It's such a nice touch to do that rather than just have red blood. So I'd really like to do that. And what else? There was something else I wanted to do too that I thought would be really nice. Was to have sound effects that sound like fruit when you hit them, like sound squishy. But that's like real extra detail to me, and I think there was a plugin that makes that possible, sounds for different enemy hits. But we'll think about that when we get to the sound design stage, because the first job is doing all the visuals. We'll get all these visual animations done first. We'll also do the balancing first as well. We don't need to have the sound on in battle to do balancing. In fact, it would be very distracting. So it's best to have it muted when we do all that. So we'll get the visuals done first. Balance it, make sure it's not OP. Work on phase 2, perhaps, first, and then do sound effects last, because we still got phase 2 to do. So we might, if we manage to balance the battle by Wednesday stream, which I think if we spent a few hours just really doing that for all of Wednesday stream, I think there's a good chance we could. Then that means on Friday we could move on to phase 2 of the fight, so that will be fun, because we haven't had much chance to talk about that yet and how that's going to work. We have an idea, but it's still very early ideas for it. Thank you, Rip Roo, for that follow. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Okay, so folks, so I think we've got all the visuals written, haven't we? I nearly forgot about that, about Rose's red blood being changed. It's so important. And I don't think there was anything else, was there? There's nothing else that's major, other than it was only Rose's blood concerning the player animations. There's the warrior and the hunter, it doesn't matter because their skill animations don't need to change for every enemy like Rose's does. Because not every enemy out there is going to have blood, you know. You have to consider that when you've got a vampire character. These clearly won't have red blood inside them. If there was a watermelon, then yes. Then yes, the apple would have red blood, but he's not a watermelon. Roo, how you doing? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I can't believe once again how quickly stream has gone today. And there was me thinking I would have a short stream today. I totally didn't. Still had a long one. Okay, folks, so I'm gonna pass us on to somebody who's online. Shall we do that? Because I'll go now and I don't want to go, but yeah, we have to go now. My dinner's nearly ready. But thanks for hanging out, guys, and for the chats and for assisting me with ideas for the animations. It's always, you know, I like to put in detail when it comes to the visuals with our battle system if we can. Especially for bosses, because they're extra special. So I'm glad that we've spent that time discussing that. So between now and Wednesday stream, I'm going to just see if I can get those animations implemented. And all going well tonight, if I don't have any more tech issues. The Carol flashback should end up in the Discord, so keep an eye out. If it's not there, you know, I experienced some problems, but all going well, it'll be there. And it's gonna be definitely in before the next stream, I'll tell you that. Because I've promised that cutscene for you to watch for a while. Okay, guys, so when we go and pass the love to someone else, feel free to say hi, put my bat emotes in chat, or if you don't have them, put in your own. That'll be totally cool. So I am just having a look. There's not as many people on today, but Milky Cole's online. Is he playing Phoenix Wright trilogy or Darkest Dungeon? Oh, it looks like he was playing Phoenix Wright, but he's playing Darkest Dungeon now, which both of them are really good games. So I'm gonna pass this on to Milky Cold because he's a nice guy. He sent the love to us a few times in the past. He has good taste in games, plays Final Fantasy, plays Dark Souls, and Phoenix Wright's a good game, Darkest Dungeon. Is he going now? I feel like he might be going offline. I'm also concerned because like I said, my headphones are broken. I won't be able to hear the person who's streaming. So Rose Rayblood, do you have some videos about your game on YouTube or somewhere that I can get a glimpse? Oh, great question, Rip Bro. We have !project, and we also have, my goodness, we have a lot of commands, guys. I'm going to give you all of them. Those are the main three for now. The website is very much due for a content update, very much so, and next month that's one of my tasks, to get some more stuff on the website put up. because it's a bit out of date what's up there now. Quite some of the stuff needs changing. But I do have a YouTube. Every single stream goes up on there, as well as the story so far and anything to show off about the game. And there's a lore bible that we have on World Anvil as well, that will over time we'll be putting more stuff on. But thanks again for being interested. That's super awesome of you. Okay guys, so we'll finally send the raid over. I'm gonna have to have a look and find my earphones if I can. Because I'm going to have problems listening to stream. They literally broke last night. But I'll just tell him, my headphones are broke. Okay, so raid time. I'll see you all on Wednesday, my birthday stream, guys. I'll see you then. Thanks for being awesome and take care.